Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily, the first English news program in Poland. I am your host, Benjamin Lee. 5 teenage girls tragically perished in a fire that broke out yesterday in an escape room in Koszalin. One man suffered second-degree burns on the face and was transported to a hospital, now in critical condition. It is still uncertain as to the cause of the incident, but the first evidence point to the gas heater used in the facility, which might have exploded with the victims still locked inside.
Tragedy occurred yesterday at around 5 p.m. in the city of Koszalin. The president of Koszalin, Piotr Jedliński, confirmed that the victims' families have been given psychological and psychiatric help. Condolences for the families of the victims came from the country's top-ranked officials. Among them were the President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, and Minister of Interior and Administration, Joachim Brudziński, who called for the immediate controlled checkup of all escape rooms in Poland by the fire department. As the Minister of Interior stated, after only few controls we learned that some of the escape rooms were registered as ordinary businesses. Their owners must be prepared to face legal consequences for causing a threat to health and lives of their customers, especially when there are children involved. Małgorzata Jagodzińska, an owner of an escape room in Wołomin, says that during such recreation, security and awareness are the most important things to keep in mind.
The majority of escape room facilities, including ours, are kept safe. All security measures are being followed. We have a fire extinguisher and a first aid kit on site, and the air vents are secured. Players can easily leave the room. They are in a group. Supervisors keep a keen eye in case anything would happen.
One of the reviews of the Koszalin escape room, where yesterday's tragedy took place, mentioned that the place reeks of gas from the gas heater used to warm up the place, which was actually a garage turned into an escape room. The first reports indicate that an explosion might have in fact taken place. Sunday in Koszalin will be a day of mourning. Apart from many public events, the celebrations of the Epiphany or the Three Kings Day have been cancelled as well.
From January 5th, 2019, the Central Railway Station of Warsaw will be named after Stanisław Moniuszko, a well-known and arguably one of the most important Polish composers. The plan to pay patronage to the musician was drafted a few years ago and will finally be implemented.
We wanted to launch an initiative composed of those of us who run the railway, suggesting the president to give the central station the name of Stanisław Moniuszko. This way, the Polish capital will be a unique capital in the world, where the 2 largest communication ports will bear the names of great Polish composers.
Protests are breaking out in Hungary, where the opposition seeks to consolidate in order to fight Viktor Orban's government. The main point of contention seems to be the amendment to the labor code. The ruling party accuses the opponents of stirring up unnecessary tension and claims the turmoil is inspired by George Soros.
Just 3 weeks ago, a series of anti-government demonstrations broke out in Hungary before Christmas. A protest was held in front of the National Radio and Television headquarters in Budapest on December 16th. The protest was held because of the so-called slave legislation raises the maximum number of overtime hours. Some demonstrators remained in front of the television building, while others marched on to the headquarters of MediaWorks, company with strong ties to the government. The ruling party Fidesz stated that it was the opposition who organized aggressive street demonstrations paid for by George Soros, a Hungarian-American billionaire.
Thousands of Yellow Vest protesters were back on the streets of Paris on January 5th, flooding the Champs-Élysées and calling for the resignation of President Emmanuel Macron, though with no signs of the violence which has mirrored recent demonstrations.
In the 8th consecutive week of nationwide protests, people wearing the familiar high-visibility vests, which have become their symbol, called for a boost in purchasing power and direct democracy via a People's Initiative referendum. Unusually, the protests in the capital were organized and the Paris Police Department was alerted to their planned route. The protesters marched from the Champs-Élysées to the city's former stock exchange in the busy shopping district around the Grand Boulevards. No immediate figures for participation were available, but the numbers in the streets have been steadily declining in recent weeks. Saturday's protest comes after the French government on Friday dismissed the protesters as agitators whose only goal was to topple it, signaling a toughening stance against the movement.
That's it for today. See you next time on Poland Daily. But stay tuned for the Poland Daily Weather Report, followed by the Poland Daily Business section.